office here. We've got an honorary guest back, Dr. Weig, who used to be our previous doctor at previous events and just returned from the Far East looking at alternative approaches to FME medicine, I guess. Somebody was asking, did we fix the patient? And that was Steve. I'm not quite sure whether that's FME or you, whether we're supposed to be fixing.
Well, I've been listening to a lot of the buzz that's been happening in the doctor's office there. It's been pretty busy. I know that obviously I haven't been able to partake in even a drop of what's been going on there, but there has been a lot of interest in just such a diverse areas that are out there, and maybe just going over a few things that I noticed. There were some questions about the attribute validator as an idea, because the geometry validator is seeing a lot of use, and there are also a lot of cases where people need to either validate or repair attribute types, maybe attribute values have to match certain regular expressions, and to have that as an idea going forward. There were some questions on 64-bit memory usage, optimization of large-scale memory kind of translations and how that can be done, some tweaking there. Workspace versioning had come up in some conversations. As well in the geometry validator coming back, I know that people were looking at how best to format the results. In some cases, people don't just want to repair their geometry, but they want to be able to visually see where are the hot spots, where things were self-intersecting, or they had duplicate coordinates that were stacked on each other, or things that were degenerate zero-area polygons or bow ties. Not to fix them, just locate them. So there's different ways of having to format the results visually. Clipping and snapping and these types of things had a lot of questions for some of the new parameters. I know snapping in 2014 has a new segment snapping option that's been added, where you can do a type of conflation, having lines kind of that are close to each other, kind of suck up to each other, or polygons join their edges and add nodes along it. So that's something that's been done, and I think speaking about all those lines, I think was a lot of fun for me being on the geometry team. I think my tag says I'm a linecologist or something, I'm not sure. Did you want to add some ideas you had?
Yeah,
as well. I can keep going.
I saw you got something about Active Directory there, so yeah, I think that relates to something I've got here. So lots of people stoked about the SharePoint stuff that Dale mentioned this morning, but then that raises a whole bunch of other questions. How will that look on server? Means some different authentication methods, but particularly means possibly the ability to start an FME engine as a specific user, because as you log in SharePoint, you have to be able to access those things through that specific engine user. So I don't know whether that relates to your Active Directory thing there. Good.
I know that we had a lot of 3D conversations about having surface-to-surface intersections, or being able to tag inner and outer walls, being able to detect that in FME, going from IFC to CityGML where that's required, exposing face normals on meshes, or at least exposing the functionality we have internally that can generate them and expose that on the outside. Those are the types of things.
I've got, it would be nice to be able to buy some FME swag, like t-shirts and zipsters. If you want to buy a zipster, I've got lots to sell. A couple of workbench ideas, add a kind of a wormhole connector idea to workbench. So you've got a large workspace, click here, click there, and not really have a connector flying across that whole workspace, but have some sort of hidden connector idea. And workbench feature counts on the connectors. You know, we've got the feature counts there on all the connectors between the transformers, but make that dynamic. I think that is in the works actually, so that's something that's coming.
One other, just last thing that I have is a comment more on just the buzz that I was hearing. One of it was actually, I found interesting, with sounds. And I wanted to ask you guys just to be persistent when you come and ask questions, because there's a lot of doctors there, but you're all kind of specialists in our area. Keep asking and trying to find the right person. I know often what I heard was people would ask a question, and then the doctor specifically would go, and then they'd run off and try to find that doctor that really knew what they were doing, and then they would go, And they'd come running over, and there'd be a little conversation, then I'd hear, ah. And so it was a kind of a neat sequence of sounds that I heard over and over there.
I'm glad you're the one that presented that. From one of the presentations today, or yesterday, I saw some neat PDF creation. So a couple of people requested a map legend creator for PDF or any other sort of printable format. So that's something, possibly something we would do in a custom transform or something like that. Wrap up ideas. So I think we're going to kick off with the video and sound on the. And that's it. So thanks a lot for asking the topic. I don't know whether the doctors have been freed up, but I've got to say thanks a lot to the doctors. A lot of them were with the support team, but many of them were developers like Kevin here that we don't often expose to the public. But so they were great, and I really got to give them a good round of applause as well.
Okay, so this is just kind of going to be a look behind the scenes of the World Cup of Data.
So you probably know by now that it was all run on the FME and FME server on the Devetsa man who made all of this possible. So and the FME quiz as well. So double.
Though, I mean, that's only because I used FME Cloud, which is very fast and easy. So if you take a look here, just the advantages of using FME Cloud for building a web application is just so little code you have to write in the back end. We initially talked about this, I don't know if you can really even read this, but this is the initial calendar invite, April 16th, to just talk about it 2 weeks later, while still doing other work in the meantime. Pretty much had a working prototype going, and that's not as a result of any particular skill, but just how easy it is to build something. Yeah.
So we got an idea. Are you busy?
Yeah, exactly.
Conference only in a few weeks. So we're fine.
Another great thing, automation. You can, we had these matches running starting at 4 a.m. We wanted to, in the group stage, wanted to take into account that people are in other time zones, and the matches should happen while they're, able to see what's going on. Tiana, the social media expert on this project, a quote from her: "You don't need to get up at 4 a.m. or anything. Like, just let it run." And it worked out great. It all just went according to plan there. Scalability, like who knows, maybe this thing would blow up, maybe it went viral. We were able to test it on a small scale. Didn't cost much to run that instance, and then scale it up so that everyone could submit their picks and check who the winners were.
So how Workspace is getting the information about all the readers and writers that can be used, and that's all in their database, right?
Yeah, exactly, and I'm, just go through here. Monitoring is another aspect that's useful, just able to see what the health of the instance is. But I think there's been a lot about FME Cloud so far. So yeah, going into the specifics of how this was done in this case, the familiar stack here, FME Desktop to build a REST API essentially, custom REST API, publish that up to server, which is hosted on FME Cloud, and it all runs automatically and generates the dynamic content for the website. Here you can just see a bit of a diagram. Custom REST API can make a request, just get back some JSON in the browser. When you get the response, just put it into a template, and there you go. And it's all backed with the Postgres database that's included on FME Cloud. So basically, the only backend code I had to write was some SQL. It was really quite straightforward to do that. So.
So when I look on the website and I get a list of results, is that actually running something on a server, or is that just pulling results?
Yeah, no, it's a lot of that is run right as you click the button. When you view someone's picks, for example, it's doing a database query right in the background there and returning the results. And in other cases, it's actually caching it, and I'll get to that in a moment. And then, yeah, just so a couple of techniques that I really found useful for building a web application on top of FME Server as a backend. First of all, the FMEServerURLSplitter. I believe that was built by Don. It's available on the FME store, and basically, so this is when you don't really know in advance what kind of parameters you're going to get in a query, because the workspace might do quite a few different things. It can split up by forward slashes and also the URL queries. So for the World Cup of Data, you would, for example, say, what are the picks made by the player with, or the participant with this ID, and you would get back the JSON for those picks. The other thing here, which is what Mark was referring to with the live versus cached requests, is you can just run a schedule and occasionally save static files to be cached, and so you would have fewer database hits and less processing to do. So that can also be done very effectively in FME Server. And then finally, yeah, you get a front-end website, and all just flows into the templates there. Yeah, no, it's based on the usage statistics and their scores for all the matches. And yeah, so it's going to do a final match recap here, but I think we are running a bit short on time, and that match has run, and we have AutoCAD, yeah. And so before we get to that, though, I do just want to take a look at the favorite team names, and if we could at this point get Don and Dale to come up as well, and we can present some prizes for those.
Anyone here from Brazil, by the way? Hey, congratulations on the win. You can have some soccer balls.
Those are collector's item soccer balls from about 7 or 8 years ago.
And they're made in Pakistan.
There's at least two Croatians here. Here we go, watch out.
You almost hit a Brazilian. Almost hit a Brazilian.
Yeah. Okay.
That on or off? That's off.
So yeah, for the winners of the team, and this is unfortunately in the wrong order, But the runners
Dimitri
up.
called it. Dimitri called it.
Yeah. So runners up, Helsinki Mighty Choppers. Do we have the owner of that team in the building?
Come on up.
Yeah, call a bunch of them up.
Yeah.
What do we
Second
got for these
runner
guys?
up, York Sporks.
What are we getting to these guys?
York Sporks in the audience. And
Okay, here.
the grand prize winner, Rastafarians.
The York Sporks.
Owner of the Rastafarians team.
Look at that. You're the only big winner.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Rastafarians?
They got the best name, but they're out partying, I guess.
Guess so.
All right. Well, thanks very much. Okay.
Where do we go?
Boy, I wonder if they win the iPad, they're really going to be mad.
And finally, taking a look here. So it looks like we have ArcGIS versus AutoCAD. ArcGIS taking the win there with a score of 5-2.
Scroll it up a bit more. Can you scroll up a bit more?
Sorry, yeah, there you go. So you can see ArcGIS's path to victory there. So in third place here, we have, with 74 points, Danish Society of FME Geeks. Danish Society of FME Geeks, please come up.
Looks like it only has one member. What do we have for our...
It's a bird.
Yes.
In second place with 80 points, we have CAE Flights of Data.
Ah.
CAE Flights of Data,
Yes.
come on up.
Come on up. So we have a highly coveted puzzle, which is the puzzle of all those formats. It's a double-sided puzzle. So all the pieces have different things on both sides, are the same colors. So you have a lot of work ahead of you. Here you go. There's one. And there's the other one. Here we go. All right. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. Get a little closer. Okay. Oh, strong. Okay. Great.
And the grand prize winner, I think with actually a perfect bracket, GIS LX with 98 points, GIS LX.
Pierre. And Pierre's not here.
Not here, okay, well, we will
Well,
be in
Devet, it
touch
looks like
to,
you've won the
to award
iPad.
the prize.
Here you go, Devet. Congratulations.
I'll hold on to this. Thank you.
You guys need that?
I guess. So are we the next ones up? We must be. So we must have those slides.
There they are there.
Here we go. Yes. So in terms of the voting on the features you'd like to see, I do appreciate that you didn't saturate and just say you want them all. Seriously, because there was no cost to you to say do them all, other than maybe more clicks. But anyway, it's interesting to me that the history tree tops out at number 1. So that's really interesting. It's obviously going to scratch an itch for folks. And
Sizable feature types is also
Yep.
very popular.
followed by the Frankenbench. So that's interesting. The Frankenbench is one that's going to take quite a while to refine. I'll make no promises on the time frame on that one.
But I can certainly see why that one's popular.
Yes.
The ability to run and you have visualizers, it just pops up and you know where it is. It's not underneath. That's huge.
Yep. And interestingly, the non-modal parameters further down than I thought. Guides, for all the whining people did about guides and grids. They just whine, but they don't even bother voting for it. It's amazing. It's maybe a very vocal minority that wants the guides and grids. And anyway, auto-hiding docs. Looks like Stephen Wong, you don't have to worry about fixing that one up anytime soon. So he's happy. Look at it. He's the happiest guy in the place. So anyway, thank you very much for your participation there. And we'll work hard to deliver basically in that order-ish. Although the Frankenbench, as I say, will be a little bit of a longer-term thing. So what's next? Oh, the Q&A. So I think I was told there was a total of 3 questions emailed in, and none are that difficult. Roger, do you want to feed us the questions? We'll repeat them up here for the...
I'm going to give you the answers before you even...
Yeah, this is like a Johnny Carson thing for those of you that are old enough. Okay.
Jason.
Uh-oh, Roger's not...
Oh, Roger's not wired.
Is this working? The first one is actually a really hard one. It's how old are you guys?
Oh. Now, I'm a little nervous because Dawn gave out my phone number, and I'm going to tell people my age.
Wow. I'm
How old?
older than Dale.
2 years older than me, and I'm double the age of Stephanie, whose birthday it was yesterday. So if you can pry... So if you can pry it out of Stephanie, then you can work backwards from there, and that's all we're going to say. Oh! Stephanie!
Stephanie, we're going to talk later.
Okay, so there's another question here around GeoPackage. This is from Balder in the Netherlands. He says, in the Netherlands, there are lots of open data being published, most in XML or flavored otherwise. There's been talk about using another format, namely GeoPackage. Is this format known by SAFE, and is it on your list of formats that FME should read or write in the near future?
In fact, yes, it is. So we've been following that. For those that don't know, GeoPackage is probably the 5th or 6th attempt to do spatial inside of SQLite. And so we're a little sad that there's so many of them. But this one, like all the others, we will do. And in fact, where's Ryan? I think we've flagged it for a possible co-op position that we're going to have starting in September. So that means it might make FME 2015 release, but certainly a service pack afterwards. We recognize, for those that don't know, GeoPackage is an emerging, or maybe it's finalized, OGC standard for storing everything in the kitchen sink in a SQLite database. Why is that interesting? For mobile applications. Because you want to just move one file that does it all, sort of like SAFE was 20 years ago, one file that does it all. But it'll have tiles in there and vectors and I don't know, cartography and every other thing, but anyway, so it should be quite interesting as well. So that's that one, and what's our exciting last question?
This one has nothing to do with age, so you don't have to worry there. It's about a question about potentially making FME faster. So it's from Oliver Heinemann, and it says, have you ever thought about using NVIDIA CUDA, Compute Unified Device Architecture technology, to make FME faster? I think CUDA could help to boost FME into another dimension of speed. Just an idea.
Oh, it's a great idea.
Yeah, and we've talked about using the graphical processing units for many of our operations, the rasters, and so we have definitely talked about that. There are certain operations in our rasters in particular that we've looked at. We haven't done anything at this point, but definitely it's something that we want to do. Speed is one of the areas that with each release of FME we work really hard to make sure we're faster, and we've done some things in the past with being able to spin out multiple processes underneath to make faster. So the GPU for certain algorithms is certainly a logical place to look. Now, there's nothing going on for 2015 on that front, though.
So we do use something called OpenMP underneath right now, which is for some multiprocessing in some key areas. The other one would be OpenCL, I think, is the Apple one. So we are looking at, and the last thing I'd say to add to Dawn's is that point cloud and the information cloud stuff that we hinted at, those things lend themselves possibly to doing bursts of processing as well. So anyway, that was a great question. Thanks, Oliver. And it's just another area that we have to take advantage of the enormous computing power that's basically on everybody's watch by the end of the year, I suspect. So that's that. So Roger, are we free to go to the next slide? All right. Ooh, it's the closing video. I think they're supposed to exit off the stage while something exciting happens. Is that right? Okay.
Hi, my name is Steve, and I love XML.
My name is Bruce, and I love XML.
Hi, my name's Dennis, and I love XML.
Hi, my name is Mark Sondheim, and I love XML.
My name's Phil, and I'm very fond of XML. It's my secret XML sign. XML Nation rules.
I love XML.
Hi, I'm XML, and I love Craig Vernon. Hi, I'm Jamie, and I love XML.
We are falling in love with XML.
We love people who love XML.
My name is Don, and I love XML. I think XML is beautiful in a world of ugly data, and I just wish everybody would learn to love XML as much as I do. Can you imagine Europe without inspiration? With no XML, there'd be no inspiration. The planes wouldn't fly. FME is XML. Open a workspace. Try it. Open a workspace in a text editor. What do you see? You see XML. XML is beautiful.
So long.
My name is Bruce and I love XML. Not.
Yeah! So, we hijacked the stage a little bit here. I'm going to realize my lifelong dream of doing interpretive dance. No, I'm just kidding. My name's Craig Vernon. I'm the sales director at Save Software. And so basically, I have the easiest job on the planet. But I want to thank you all for just an amazing week. So everyone, please give themselves a hand. But the reason I'm up here is because I want to thank and congratulate Dale and Don for 20 years of Safe Software. I know I speak on behalf of all Safers when I say that we're very proud to be Safe Software employees, and we wear that badge with honor.
Wow. You gotta get down there and blow them out? Oh. Okay. All right, Don. You gonna go for the vanilla?
Sure.
Do we have to eat it right after or what? Okay, here we go.
What happens if we don't blow them all out? Does the candle mean something?
I think there's troubles here.
Okay.
Oh. Wow. Well, thank you for having that cake so I can get my composure back. Yeah. You guys did it to us. Thank you so much. Woo. So let's talk about something really exciting like Friday training, Don.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. Make sure you bring your laptops. I was told not to forget that. All the stuff is on, so this is good we have this distraction.
Yeah, exactly.
All the machines themselves are on Amazon, but to get access to that, you need to bring a laptop. So.
Yeah, so I know many of you will be back tomorrow, so this isn't really goodbye, but in some respects it is. Are we ready to wrap her up?
Yeah, I'll try to say something in a minute. Yeah, so, okay, I'll try. Yeah, it's been a crazy 20 years. I mean, from when I met you, we started this crazy thing just over the phone. Hey, yeah, let's bid on this thing, and if we win it, we'll make a company 50-50. Oh, yeah, sure, click, right? Because we're off doing our thing. And
that was about the extent of it.
You know, but, yeah, so I'm just so thankful. I mean, as I say to my wife sometimes, I must have been really good in a previous life, because I know I certainly didn't deserve it in this one. And, you know, so, and I mean that. I mean, everybody, I just am so, and you.
Well, it's been great working with you, Don. Ooh, it's gonna. I don't want to compare, you know, Don and I actually were together at this. We had tickets to go see U2 a while ago. It was kind of on my bucket list of things to see. And at the end, Bono said something, and I don't want to compare myself to Bono, but he said something very profound, I thought, at the very end. He said to everybody, thank you for giving me a wonderful life. And I could say that to you, Don. I could say that to all the staff. Yeah. I can say it to all of you here. So, woo.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks for all your support for 20 years. Keep supporting us. We'll keep supporting you. We really understand the relationship has to go both ways, And we for a minute do not think we're smarter than any of you. I often say the moment we think we're smarter than the people who use our product, it's over. It may take a long time for the ship to sink, but it's starting to take on water, and we are not smarter than any of you. So we don't, we need you all. We need you to tell how we can be better. We need you to be really critical of FME, be really critical of us, and just help us to be better so that we can continue to do what we do for you and for the whole community. So, yeah.
So I think also we should drag a few people up here.
Yeah.
And the danger is, when we used to do these things years ago, we had a pretty small crew that would do it because there was very few of you. This year the crew is much, much larger. But let's haul up some of the people that have worked so tirelessly to pull this on, starting with Sonia and Ashley and Robin and Megan and Chris and Stephanie and Tiana.
And any of your teams that...
Leslie.
So Ashley, anybody in your teams? And
we're going to miss some because we're emotional here.
Yeah. So
there's who have we missed? Roger.
Yeah.
The World Cup of Data Mastermind. I mean, if we can start spiraling, pretty soon we'll have the whole team up here, but literally we should. You know what? Why don't we just bring the whole Safe Software staff up here?
Come on up,
because
everybody.
you all played a role. Wow, is there anybody going to be left in the audience?
So when we...
Wow.
So
is
when
this
we
stage...
did this, when we had the user conference, when we had the user conference 5 years ago, this is about the size of
the attendees.
Of the entire conference.
Yeah, this was the conference 5 years ago.
Yeah,
wow, we can't actually fit up here.
Yeah, that's okay. So thank you all. It's been fantastic.
You've done a great job. I mean, normally at SAFE we don't like to push people more than the 40 hours, but I know lots of you have worked way more than that. So thank you so much as we headed into this.
Yeah.
In every way, all of you have made this possible.
Yeah. And
So,
if any of you aren't there next week, we'll understand. We know why. Hopefully it's because you're sleeping and not sick. With all the adrenaline that's been going through your bodies and some of the way you've been working, I worry that you're going to get sick when it all leaves your body. So hopefully you're just sleeping. But thank you so much.
yeah. So I think this is that part of the show. Now there's almost nobody old enough to remember Carol Burnett.
I remember Carol
And
Burnett.
Tiana put it in there. So it's kind of a tradition that started in 2006.
Yeah.
At this point, we sing, and I'll start it off, and who'll see who wants to join me. I'm so glad we had this time together, just to share a laugh and sing a song. We just get started, and before you know it, it's been too long since I've seen Carol Burnett, comes a time we have to say so long. Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah,